Be frank, I feel bored when I preach on Sunday. How to overcome the boredom in preaching? It's a doubt from a brother priest. I really appreciate that priest is so frankly acknowledging that he feels boredom in Sunday preaching. I was thinking that it is usually an experience of the listeners. They are bored when they listen to the Father as he preaches on the Sunday. But the fathers also feel boredom when they make their Sunday preaching. Father Ji, how to overcome this boredom in Sunday preaching? First of all, you should ask what is the aim of our preaching? Big theology, big philosophy, catechizing is all there. Apart from that, as a priest, when we celebrate Mass and when we break the word every Sunday, what is the aim? There may be many aims. Okay. One thing I follow when I preach in my Sunday preaching and other times also, I follow a simple principle which Jesus used to have a reason for his speaking. Why did Jesus preach? And he was preaching a lot. And in one of his preaching to his disciple, he says the reason for preaching and teaching. That is there in John chapter 15, verse 11. Jesus says, I have said these things to you so that my joy may be in you and that your joy may be complete. Read it carefully. I have said these things to you so that my joy may be in you and that your joy may be complete. My dear friend, our Sunday preaching is based on this statement, or you begin to reflect from this statement. Why we preach, why we say all those things to our Sunday participants, so that our joy may be in them and the joy in them may be complete. When this chemistry does not take place, both of us will feel boredom. The preacher also will feel boredom. The listener also feel boredom because there is no communication of joy. So from your side, you should ask, is there a joy bubbling within you as you stand to preach? We say all those things. We may use teaching, we may use reproof, we may use correction, we may use training, we may use story, whatever that we may use. But in all those words, in all that body language, the joy that in you may be in them. So if you stand there as a bored person, having no joy within you, what joy can you transmit or permeate to that group of people standing in front of you? Naturally, you feel bored up because there is nothing to transmit. So, not to overcome the boredom as a priest when we preach, because it can be really agonizing week after week to stand in front and say something. Not like that. We try to transmit that bubbling joy that we have. That joy does not come just there on the spot of preaching. That comes from our life. So that we also may be able to say, I am preaching to you, or I stand in front of you all and say these things so that my joy may be in you. At the end of the preaching, if people get the anger that is within you, the spirit of division that is in you, the spirit of disunity that is in you, and what will happen? And the disunity in them will be complete. The anger in them will be complete. it is aroused in the parish, and there may not be a feeling of joy and happiness in all that vicinity. It is because of we had a boredom preaching during a Sunday. Just meditate on this one sentence. John chapter 15, verse 11. I have said these things to you so that my joy may be in you and the joy in you may be complete. I have said these things to you so that my joy may be in you and that your joy may be complete. That lack of joy in you is the cause of boredom in Sunday preaching. How will you overcome it? Bring back that joy that is within you before preaching. And you should feel that every Sunday you transmit ripples of joy to your listeners, and your entire parish will simply re-echo your joy, and as they go to home and they begin to live, the joy that is in them will be made complete, and the entire area will be blessed and filled with joy.